Jules, we're not done. We have more quick hits.
Yes.
Manchester City down Newcastle 2-1 to keep the pressure on Arsenal. Jules, we saw a different look from Pep Guardiola. An impressive Nico O'Reilly at number 10. No room for Phil Foden and Ryan Cherky.
Yeah.
Marmouche effectively alongside Holland up front.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that kind of 4-2-2-2, 4-2-2-2 formation like in the last 3 Premier League games. O'Reilly has been on a good run for the last 3 games as well. For all this time that they played him at left back to come a lot into midfield, this is a more natural position for him. That's where he always played when he was a kid. It's only that Pep tried to make him in that left back kind of playmaker role, but this is much better for him. You saw the goal that he scored, the run that he makes. He had another really good one in the previous weekend too. That's good. I'm not sure where that leaves. You're right, Phil Foden and Ryan Cherky either, because if you want Semenyo in there, if you think Marmouche can help Haaland, and we saw Haaland having a really good overall game, then I'm not sure if there's room for Foden and Cherky.
I think he's trying different solutions for different things. This is how this man's mind works. What I'm not sure about, I don't know if this is a good solution. Let's not forget, City are playing at home. I don't think they'd had a game in 12 days, something like that.
No, they
right?
played in the FA Cup.
Okay,
so they would have played in, yeah.
But it was against some nonsense opponent, right?
Yeah.
Whereas obviously Newcastle played in Azerbaijan in midweek, right? And
Wednesday.
I thought he said, like, let me just go and let me put the more physical lineup out there. The big boys, O'Reilly. Right, Semenyo's not that big, but he's a monster athlete. Marmouche runs around Holland. And let me go and try to pound them, and I'll muscle them. You had the better chances. You're deserving winners, but you still had Gigio Donnarumma having to make that save from Barnes, right?
Yeah, although I think it's off target. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're right.
I'll be curious. I don't think this can really continue. What I find interesting is if the Champions League final were tomorrow and everybody were fit, if you were to ask me who is definitely starting, I would say Rodri, I would say Donnarumma, I would say Haaland, and I would say Gvardiol. And then after that, I would say, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Liverpool need an Alexis McAllister goal in the 7th minute of injury time to escape with a win at Nottingham Forest in Vitor Pereira's debut. Jules Arne Slot says they were lucky and that the first half was their worst of the season.
Yeah, we've seen bad halves from them regularly because they haven't been, as we've said, very good this season. And they got lucky in this game because they were really second best. Not even to some extent in the second half as well, but they didn't create much. Wirtz was supposed to start, didn't feel great. They didn't risk him. And without him, and especially with Szoboszlai at right back for the first half before Jones took his place, there was just not enough, really not enough. I don't want to go on Mo Salah again because I've mentioned what I think of him, but it was one of his worst performances. And as was Liverpool in the first half. They got lucky. He's right. It's 3 massive points for them in that race for 4th and 5th place. But they will need to improve very quickly. Otherwise, they won't be in the Champions League next season.
I feel bad for Mr. Marinakis having to be on the receiving end of this when Forest definitely, I thought they deserved all 3 points. They had the opportunity. And by the way, while I'm with you, and Salah was terrible, Virgil van Dijk spreading the ball everywhere, but to teammates, not good either. Not good.
Chelsea are held at home by Burnley 1-1 as Wesley Fofana gets sent off. Gab is 4 points lost in the last 2 home games for Liam Rosinha, and he's not happy.
He's not happy. I'm all for radical candor from managers. I play Arne Slot does. I'll play Rosinha here. He shouldn't be happy because this could have gone really, really bad. Tosin, I was surprised. He could have been sent off.
That's a red card every day for me.
I was shocked. People made it wasn't even a foul, I think.
No, it was not given as a foul.
The Wesley Fofana should know that, hey, I'm booked. Maybe I don't put myself in this situation again. Disappointing. And João Pedro's goal, by the way, at the beginning, I thought the ball came off his hand, incidentally. So, 4 points, and it could make all the difference. Evan Gisson. Who's that?
I know. No Paris born and bred, though.
Okay, all right. So we give him a pass, even though MIA until now. He gets the late winner for Crystal Palace at home to Wolves. But, Jules, how about that banner? And I quote here, opportunities missed, board inept, fans disrespected, Glasner finished. We saw that from the Palace fans. I'm not saying they're speaking for all the Palace fans. No. But we're not used to seeing stuff like that from Premier League crowds.
No, that's you're right. But I can understand, I think, the frustration on this season. Sunday, that win against Wolves. By the way, Wolves who missed a penalty earlier on. Was only the second in the last 16 games in all competition. They could not beat a Bosnian team in midweek in the Conference League playoffs either. And probably I think, or if I was a Crystal Palace fan and seeing that banner and the reaction towards Oliver Glasner, is what he's been saying lately, which is for me unacceptable from a club's point of view, but from a fan's point of view, asking the Crystal Palace fans to stay humble.
Remember who you are and where you come from.
Like, but in what kind of world does Oliver Glasner live in to tell his own fans to stay humble? I don't think they're asking for much, but at least more than just one win in 15. It's all about him. It's been all about him since the start of the season. I don't understand. Even now, he talks about himself in the third person, and I'm like, really? What? Come on, man, please.
Well, I mean,
Who is the last manager we heard? Even Guardiola, even Mourinho. I can't remember Mourinho saying Jose Mourinho when talking about himself. Oliver Glasner said, well, Oliver Glasner, like, what?
Yeah. So
this is bonkers.
First of all, if you're going to mention Glasner and Mourinho in the same sentence, don't.
No.
Respect!
Respect! Well, Glasner would say something. Glasner would say Oliver Glasner deserves to be in the same
Okay. Oliver Glasner deserves to be in the same sentence right now as Dave Bassett and Sam Allardyce.
He deserves to be sacked. That's what he deserves.
Deserves to be sacked. I don't know.
Yeah.
My advice to him is you're good at what you do in terms of setting people up on the pitch. You made history for Crystal Palace. If you need to start thinking about your next job, which you obviously are since you're leaving this club, first thing I would do is get on the phone. There's lots of people out there who can do media coaching and tell you how to speak to other people and how to treat other people. Because you're in a situation where you're making me and you, because I know your feelings, like Steve Parrish over him and say Steve Parrish is right and Glasner is wrong. This is how extreme you've taken this.
He's tarnishing his own legacy at the club. Because for him to now say like, well, I've been the greatest manager. Basically that's what he said. I'm paraphrasing him. But he said, I'm the greatest manager this club has ever seen. Because they had 32 points before this Wolves game. And he said only twice in the history of the club in the Premier League, they've had more than 32 points. Look how great I am. Look how big I am. Look what, and being cynical and sarcastic and all of that. I mean, I can't bear him anymore. I really can't. And I'm sure there's people above him at the club who think the same. So if he doesn't want to be there anymore, no problem. Just go. Yeah. Go, take 3 months off, and you're going to get another job next season. Otherwise, if he's the club, just get rid of him.
He's seriously hurting himself. And I can understand him sitting there and looking around at other clubs in the Premier League and elsewhere and saying, oh, well, there might be an opening at Spurs. There might be an opening at Manchester United.
Absolutely. Surely in Germany somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you hear people talk like that, if you come across as something that rhymes with stick,
completely,
I don't want you in my club because you're toxic.
Touch him.
I mean, he apologized to his credit.
Yeah, but come on.
He's a couple months left to go and try to repair things. I think he needs to do that.
Yeah. Chelsea finally have a shirt sponsor gap. I mean, that's been one of your sagas on the show.
And appropriately, you mentioned Saga, which is from Scandinavia. It's a Scandinavian company.
Is it? Have you heard of it before?
No,
not like the last one? Okay.
It's a company called IFS. They're leaders in industrial artificial intelligence.
Okay.
I looked this up. Apparently, the artificial intelligence that they used is used to power factories and industries and automate tasks.
Okay.
I don't know. When I first saw this, like AI company, I'm like, oh, cool. Is it Anthropic? Is it OpenAI? Is it somebody I've heard of? No, it's these other people. They're more niche. They were actually, this is really boring to people, but they were actually.
You love it.
Yeah, they were more of like a SaaS software service company, and they're kind of pivoting towards this. I don't know. Chelsea, the reason Chelsea didn't have a shirt sponsor for so long is because they were reportedly holding out for £65 million a year.
Is that what they get? Is that what they got for this?
Well, of course, terms of the deal are undisclosed, but Chelsea are saying, well, we're happy with the amount. Of course, you're happy with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have signed it.
Yeah.
So we genuinely don't know.
Okay.
It's one of those things, again, you wonder, you're IFS, most normal people don't need industrial AI at home.
It's not something that you buy as a customer.
Exactly. So, it's kind of like I'm going to buy some PIF this weekend, but well done, Chelsea. They're monetizing this. Finally, they can use the extra revenue. So at least this part's over for now.